Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Fresha. If you are returning, girl, it's been a minute. But I have a good excuse because as you guys read the title, I got a breast reduction and a lift. I live in Atlanta, but I came all the way back home to Florida to get the surgery because I felt like I needed to be close to family. I feel like when you go through surgery and stuff, you really need to be with your mom or like your parents if you have them. And this Thursday coming up is my 4-week post-op appointment. I posted my boobs on my Instagram story and so many girls wrote me. It was so many views on there. I would have sworn like I posted it on YouTube or something. So I was already going to do a video, but just all of y'all writing me in my DMs really solidified me making this video for y'all. So if you are looking to get a breast reduction or a lift, I'm going to go through literally everything. I'm going to go through how I got it approved through insurance, the steps that you need to take to also get it approved through insurance. I'm going to go through looking for surgeons because you definitely need to look for the perfect surgeon and do your research on that. Before we get into this video, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all already know. Let's go ahead and get into the video. So one, we're going to talk about how I got it approved through insurance. So last year I went to my primary care doctor and I was complaining to her about like my back hurting. It was really my neck, y'all. Like my neck was hurting so bad, and that came from like my boobs being so big, and then like the bra kind of like, I don't know, it was just so heavy at the top to where I was like always hunching over and stuff like that. So my neck was killing me and my back was starting to hurt as well. And then I also noticed that when I go to work out, I felt just heavier because of my boobs, and so that kind of limited me with working out a little bit, especially when it came to cardio. Like if I run too much, like I just felt like it was just like pounds on my chest and it really hurt. So I was complaining to her about it, and she was like, you can get a breast reduction, you have insurance, your insurance will cover it, but you do have to go through different procedures. So she referred me to a physical therapist, and I went to physical therapy. I went to I think 2 appointments, and then I seen how expensive it was. It was like $100 for my copay every single time I went to physical therapy. So I told her I ain't doing physical therapy. Like I can't afford to pay $100 every single time I go. So she was like, that's fine, go ahead and find you a surgeon, and then we would just say that you went, you know, because that's all they really want to see, is that you try to do something to fix whatever issue that you're complaining about, whether it's your neck, your back. They want to see if like you went to physical therapy and at least try to fix that issue, just to make sure that it's not for a cosmetic issue and that it's literally for medical reasons. I digged around for my surgeon, and this is very, very important for you guys to do good research on. So I researched everybody in Pensacola, Florida, literally every single surgeon. The only one that really stuck out to me was Ortega Plastic Surgery, and that is the practice that did my breast reduction and lift. So I learned with his practice that his dad actually owned the practice for years, and they have 50 years of experience, 50 plus years of experience with plastic surgery. He ended up retiring and he left it to his son, which is Marco Ortega, and he is the one that did my breast reduction and lift. Love him to death. So I went in for a consultation, and it was pretty quick. He was like, you really need this surgery really bad because your boobs are so heavy. And he was explaining that my boobs alone had to be 6 pounds. 6 pounds on my chest. Like if you lift up a 5-pound dumbbell, that's what I was carrying around on my chest. So to get it approved through insurance, there is steps that you have to follow. So one, you need to go to your primary care doctor and complain, and then your doctor will either put you into physical therapy, and like I said, if you can afford to keep going to physical therapy more than twice, then go ahead and go, and then get that documentation as well that you went. Step 3, you want to find a surgeon that is in contract with your insurance. So you definitely want to ask them when you go to your consultation, like, do you accept this type of insurance? And they will let you know yes or no. If they do, you're going to go through your consultation, and then from there your surgeon is the one that gets it approved through your insurance. They will take pictures of your boobs. They will put down documentations, put down that this is a medical necessity. They will send it into your insurance. Now it took my insurance a few months to approve it. So the first time they actually denied it, and they denied it because they needed more information. So they needed all of my records from physical therapy showing that I did that. And then they also needed documentation from my primary care doctor stating that I have complained about this to them before. So I had to get documentation from my primary care doctor and my physical therapist, have them send that in to my surgeon, and then my surgeon was able to send all of the information that they needed into them. And then my insurance was requiring more information. They wanted my primary care doctor to write a letter stating that I have complained about my breast reduction for over 6 weeks, which I had been complaining about my breast for like 8 months at that point. That was easy. She hurried up and typed that up, sent it in, and then I got approved. Once I got approved, they called me and was like, hey, your prior authorization, everything was approved, like your insurance approved to pay for it. This is when you're gonna come in for your pre-op appointment, and then this is when you're gonna come in for your surgery. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to get surgery. I never had surgery a day in my life. So I went into my pre-op appointment. He marked me up because like my pre-op appointment was on Wednesday and then my surgery was on Friday morning. So he went ahead and did my marks and he told me like what I was gonna go down to, and that was my pre-op appointment. And then I went in for my surgery Friday morning we got there I think at 5 and my surgery was at 7:15 I think. So the next topic we're gonna get into is the morning of the surgery. I was so nervous. Like I did not sleep that night. I slept for probably like 2 or 3 hours. If you are in Pensacola and you're looking to go through Ortega plastic surgery, Marco requires for you to spend a night in the hospital after he does your surgery, which is really good because usually when you get a breast reduction in a lift, they send you home. He advocates for it. Like he wants you to stay in the hospital. So that is something that I really, really loved about him because he was like, no, you're staying, you know, in the hospital after the surgery. We get there and they pull me to the back and they're putting the IV in. They're just doing everything that they need to do. The anesthesiologist came in and talked to me. And then my nurse came in that was gonna be taking care of me throughout the night. She told me like how everything is gonna go. My surgeon came in and he was like, are you ready? Once I started getting close to the time, I wasn't nervous. I was just ready to like get it over with kinda. So I was pretty calm because it's like, at that point, it's in God's hands. You know, I wasn't really scared about being put to sleep because that, to me, that's the easy part. A lot of people are scared about that, but for some reason, I just wasn't scared about being put to sleep for some reason. I was scared about like the pain. Like from the consultation all the way until surgery day, I kept expressing to him how I'm just really nervous about waking up in pain, like, cause I don't really like to be in pain. I got walked back to the surgery room and I seen the table that I had to lay on. And then I laid on the table. They came at me, they were strapping me up to the table and everything. The anesthesiologist put something in my IV. I was like, are you putting in the anesthesia? And he was like, no, it's just something to calm you down. I was asleep. I fell asleep. I don't even remember falling asleep. And then I woke up. And my surgery took 6 hours, so it was a really long surgery. But let me tell you guys why it was so long, because I think usually it takes like 2 to 4 hours, but mine took 6. He was really stressing to me, like after my surgery, he was like, I'm so glad that you did this surgery, because if you didn't, down the line, it probably would have cost you problems. And he was like, you had really thick tissue in your boobs. He was like, it was so much of it. It was so thick. He said, and that same tissue is the tissue that causes your breast to hurt during your period. And he also said that since the tissue was so thick, in the future, when it's time for me to start getting mammograms and stuff on my boobs, it would have been hard for them to find any type of like cancerous cells or anything in my boobs because of how thick the tissue was. So he was like, it took me long, but I did it and I got literally majority of all of it. So you really don't have a lot of that tissue inside of you anymore. And he was like, going forward, you should be okay. Honestly, that probably could have saved my life. Down the line, I probably could have got breast cancer and probably would have never known because of how thick my tissue is. They took me to recovery, and when I woke up from surgery, I was in no pain. I felt nothing at all. And I was like, I'm sitting up here so nervous about me being in pain, waking up from surgery, and I'm not in pain at all. My pain level is a 0. Took my medication. I ate some Panera bread soup. I was fine, y'all. Like I was okay. It wasn't nothing wrong. I wasn't in any pain. It was just like pressure. Like it just feels like something, because they wrap you. So it just feels like a really tight wrap. So that's why I would rate the pain probably like a 1 or a 2, just because of that like pressure in your chest. So they actually put a catheter in me. So a catheter is connected to your bladder. So they put it through your urethra, I forgot what it's called. They put it in your bladder so that way like during surgery and stuff, you don't pee on yourself. And then also you don't really have to worry about getting up, going to the bathroom after you had your surgery. I felt the tube and I'm like, what is that? And she was like, oh, you have a catheter in. We're gonna take it out at 2 a.m. in the morning. And then after that, you have to make sure that you use the bathroom on your own before we can discharge you. So they came in at 2 a.m. They took that out. When I woke up, it was time to leave the hospital and I used the bathroom and then I got discharged and I went home. Then the first week I was on antibiotics and oxys. So I took my oxys and then I took my antibiotics, and I also had nausea medication just in case I was nauseous, but I wasn't, so I didn't have to use any of that. But I stopped taking my oxys after day 3 because I didn't need them. I really didn't need them day 1, for real. So they prescribe you antibiotics for 7 days and you need to take them. You need to take them. It prevents infection. I watched like 200 breast reduction videos before I went and got my own because I was so nervous about it. So many girls did not take their antibiotics like they were supposed to and they got an infection. Like, why would y'all not take your antibiotics? That's what it's for. And then I went to my 1-week post-op appointment and he took off my wrap because I wasn't able to shower for a whole week. I had got some rinse-free cloth pads to like keep myself clean, so I was still cleaning myself during the week, but I couldn't shower for a whole week. Took it all off and that's when I was able to see my boobs for the first time, and I was like, oh. He ate with this. After he cut that off, he put me in a wrap, but that wrap was not working for me, so I just switched over to a surgical bra. I got this from Walmart and it came with 2, and I clip them in the front. They unclip in the front. As you guys can see, here's like a little cleavage, just so you guys can kind of see like how they look. They look really good. They look really good. He did a really good job. That's how they look, and that's how surgery day and all of that stuff went. Now I'm gonna go into the recovery part because that needs to be talked about, and I'm still going through recovery. Like, my incisions are not fully healed, so I'm actually gonna go into recovery, like all of the things that you guys need to look for and all of the items that you guys need to use. The first thing that you guys need is Aquaphor. Aquaphor. Any surgeon that tells you to let your scars, like your wounds, dry out is not telling you the correct information. You need to keep these wounds that are open, like once you start taking a shower and stuff, you need to keep them as moist as you can. How I use my Aquaphor is I take a shower and then I get out and then I kind of just dab them, like pat dry my wounds with a stick-free gauze, and then once I do that, I go in with Aquaphor. I lather the Aquaphor around my nipple, down that little cut right here, and then all under where they cut you. I'm healing so well. Like, my scars look really good. I don't know how my scars down here is gonna look because I have white meat showing down there. I guess like the scabs that's supposed to be there, like black scabs, since I've been putting Aquaphor right there, those scabs are not there and I just see white meat. I'm assuming that once that heals, my skin would just go directly over it instead of it being scabby and dark, which is a good thing. Like, I'm not complaining. I'm just trusting the process with my wounds and how they're gonna heal. Everything looks amazing, especially like my nipples. Like, my nipples look amazing. The second thing that you're gonna wanna get is stick-free gauze pads. I use Band-Aid and I also use the CVS brand as well. You don't want to just get regular gauze because you don't want them to stick onto your incisions, so that way, like, if you pull it off, it may hurt you. So stick-free gauze pads. You can get the Band-Aid kind, you can get the CVS brand. I'm gonna leave some pictures up here and also some links down below. The third item that you want to get is these. You need these sports bras. Anything that zips in the front, clips in the front, you're gonna need this because that wrap that they put you in, it's gonna be hard for you to like wrap it yourself, because you'll have to, every single time you go to the shower, you'll have to wrap yourself over and over again, and that's kind of hard to do. And then I also noticed, like, when I was going to sleep, it was like, it wasn't staying in place. It was just too much going on, and I was like, I have to switch over. So now I have these, and I just put my gauze inside of these. That's what this little white thing is. This is gauze. stick-free gauze. The fourth item that I would tell you guys to get is the soapy cloths. These are the cloths that I used that first week when I wasn't able to take a shower. All you have to do is literally wet them and they're already soapy. As soon as you wet them, they're soapy. Go ahead and clean yourself, your underarms, your private area, and then you can just toss it in the trash. And you can just take some water and just rinse yourself off or whatever, but they're so convenient. The fifth thing that you need to get is Dial soap. So I am still using Dial soap when I take a shower. I'm not using any type of Dove or anything, even though Dove is not going to be a problem. I would just rather stick with antibacterial soap for right now, just at least until my wounds close at the bottom. Like once they fully close, then I will feel more comfortable going back and switching back to like native, which is what I usually use. Sixth thing that you need to get is a pregnancy pillow and a back pillow, because you have to lay on your back for the first 4 to 6 weeks. And extra pillows, you just need pillows, a whole bunch of pillows, because you're gonna need it to be as comfortable as you can. Also, another thing that I would recommend, it's not a product, but I would recommend you guys to meal prep. So I meal prepped for myself for the first 3 days, lunch and dinner, and then I had my granddad make me breakfast every single morning for a whole week. It's so much better if you guys would just meal prep your food, because you need to be eating as healthy as possible. So yeah, that's really about it. If I can think of anything else, like I said, I will leave it down below, and I will also leave it in the Amazon storefront so that way you guys can shop that. But that's really all that I needed. Just don't judge your boobs based off of like the first month and stuff like that. Like your boobs is going to look weird. I'm not trying to like judge my boobs or anything right now. I feel like they look amazing for them to only be 3 weeks post-op. As far as my scars and my wounds, honestly, I'm just focusing on covering them, keeping them moisturized, and taking care of them as much as I can so that way I don't have any infections. I love my results. I love my doctor. If you go to Marco is straight to the point. Not gonna sugarcoat anything. He's really straight to the point, and that's how I am. He is overall a great person. He has a great personality. I feel like you're in great hands. He's going to make sure that you're taken care of, and he's also going to take his time on your surgery. He's not going to rush through it. He's going to do exactly what he can to help you. And so I definitely recommend him. 10/10 experience. Once my wounds and everything close up and I go back to Atlanta, I do plan on leaving a review for him, but I just want to make sure that everything is great. Definitely recommend a breast reduction and a lift to any girl that really needs it. Don't be scared. Not be scared. The only thing that you really do need to be scared about is picking the wrong surgeon. Like you need to find a good surgeon. Once you do that and you do your research, you are okay. As far as the surgery and the pain and all of that, like I said, I have not been in any pain. The only really like pain I've been into now is like I get sharp pain in my boobs like here and there, and that's because the nerve is reconnecting. It is a nerve-wracking thing, especially if you never had surgery before, but you're not going to regret it. In every single breast reduction video that I watched, none of the girls regretted it. Not one girl regretted having their breast reduction. I didn't have drains, so I think that also played a big factor of me not being in a lot of pain, because I don't remember me telling you guys that, but I didn't have any drains. Marco actually doesn't do drains, so that's a good thing, because I heard getting those drains taken out and stuff, I heard it hurts. So he doesn't do drains if you get a breast reduction through him, so you don't have to worry about that part. So happy that I did it. I have been a little depressed, so make sure that you are taking your vitamins. I forgot to bring my vitamins, and I just feel like my energy has been so low. I haven't been in the mood to work or anything. I went back to work after a week off, and during that second week I missed a few days, which I was covered for. I would just wake up and just be super tired, just not in the mood, and just moody. Today I went and got some multivitamins, and I also got like vitamin D3. I'm already feeling better. I already took them today, and I already feel like energetic. That's why I'm doing this video. I will be doing a follow-up on like scars and things like that. Once my wounds heal, I will show you guys my scars and everything. I hope that I was able to help you guys out. Definitely leave some comments down below, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.